Well, we set up the Prison Choir project in 2016, I think in response to what everyone is fully aware, a bit of a crisis in the prison system. We lock up more people in England, Wales and Scotland than anywhere else in the whole of Western Europe. Nearly 50% of all those people that are locked up, all the men, commit further crimes within a year of release. Self-harm is up in prisons. More than 300 people killed themselves in prison last year. It's a real crisis. And for us, it's an opportunity to go in and work with some of these guys and give just a level of hope and a light at the end of the tunnel and an opportunity to be involved in a group activity that takes them outside their daily routine of prison life. Well, I think self-confidence and self-esteem are important to anyone in life. You don't have to be locked in a prison to need the support of other people to build, your self-confidence. And I think what's wonderful is we go in there, we don't judge people on the crimes that they've committed. We're unaware of that. We don't know what crimes they have committed. And it's a chance to simply take people at face value and work towards a common goal. And that goal might be something as crazy as putting on, an opera or a musical in the prison. And we try and work to a professional standard. We employ professional musicians to work alongside all the inmates. And they get swept along with this. And they suddenly realize, they adapt a can-do attitude, adopt a can-do attitude and find themselves taking on some of the main roles in these operas and musicals. They've got scripts to learn, they've got to act, they've got choreography to learn, they've got to sing all the choruses. And some of these guys, they've never even set foot on a stage before, let alone open their mouth to sing. So yeah, I think it gives them a huge amount of self-confidence. And these are transferable skills. If they come out of a session thinking, yeah, I've really achieved something there, then maybe they'll think, beyond the gate, opportunities that come their way, I can take that opportunity and use it in my, my life post-prison. I mean, that's sort of the point of it, I think. Yeah, we've had the most extraordinary feedback. There was one more elderly gentleman that we worked within Dartmoor who wrote so beautifully about us taking on a group of dispirited men in a jail called Dartmoor and putting on an operatic extravaganza and making it this incredible success and having their day in the sun. And I think it means an awful lot to these guys. I've even had people take me aside during rehearsals and say, quite literally, Adam, you've stopped me from killing myself by allowing us, me to have this opportunity to come and do something. And I think one has to take that away and reflect on it a bit, exactly what that means, because that's horrific that people could be even in that position where they feel that's what they would do. Life has got to such a low ebb. So yeah, I think we've done our job if we can come away and say we've stopped people from doing that. Yeah, I think there was one guy we worked with who said, oh God, you know what, the last time I sang the Toreador chorus from Carmen, my dad was singing the Toreador. So I think he'd been involved in Carmen as a kid, so that was quite sweet. But the majority have never done any singing before in their lives. Some have been in and out of jail for the last 20, 30 years. And it's not a prerequisite that people are, know how to sing. We don't audition people. So it's absolutely a blank canvas. We take everyone who wants to get involved, and sometimes we discover, real talent. Some guys can really sing. It's no surprise. It's lovely that, and they all just get involved. Yeah, no, interestingly, I think a lot of people find they have these talents whilst in prison. A lot of people go in and they've never painted, they've never drawn before, but then they give it a go and they find they've got the time to commit to it. And they find these talents, and that's not only art, but woodwork, and they create the most extraordinary pieces of furniture. And there's one guy that is brilliant at making music stands, and I don't mean just sort of sticking one pole on top of another, but these proper sort of engineering drawings, pages long, in how to warp and bend wood in the right way, and the results are absolutely stunning. And these are just things he picked up in prison. So Dartmoor Prison was set up at the beginning of the 19th century, in about 1806, to house prisoners from the Napoleonic War. There were thousands of them that were sort of held in boat hulks, sort of ship hulks and things like that, and then brought over, and many of them were marched to Dartmoor Prison. And at one time, if you think the prison now holds about 630 inmates, there were more than 6,000 in Dartmoor Prison at the beginning of the 19th century. A quite extraordinary environment. It's a Category C men's prison, and it looks a little bit like the Millennium Falcon from above, and it has different spurs that come off a central part of it. There are six different wings, all called tors, so similar to the tors on the Dartmoor Moor, and there it is in the small village of Princetown, right up on the moor. During this time when they were locking up people in the Napoleonic Wars, there was a chap historically known as King Dick, and King Dick was a great black man who was 6'3" at the time, when the national average height of the population in the UK, I think, was nearer 5'8", and he was a great man of culture, and used to put on shows and performances in the prison of Shakespeare. And it's documented that they actually put on full performances of Romeo and Juliet and Othello in the prison at the beginning of the 19th century. So we're, if you like, following in a line of arts projects that have happened within that environment. I think singing has an extraordinary restorative power. And it's something people aren't necessarily aware of when they're involved in it. You just come away feeling better for it. And I think for us at Dartmoor Prison, it is exactly that. It's a collective endeavour. It's people coming together to be part of something, singing together and feeling good about themselves for a bit. Yeah, I think it's incredibly relevant. And one thing that's very important to us is that we try and take as many people into jails as possible, get the general public in, to have a better understanding of what they are really like. It's good fun, but it's definitely a process. It's a big mountain to climb when you start and you decide, we're putting on West Side Story, and there are people who've bought tickets and they're coming in 3 weeks' time. It's sort of, there's a real pressure on there. It's not just to sort of feel good, let's have a go, a bit of a laugh. There's pressure there as well, to perform and to get to a standard that is acceptable, really. And I think that's part of the joy of it, actually, is that pressure. I really believe in second chances. I think we face a real crisis in the prison system, and arts interventions. If there's anything we can do to get into these places and make the lives of these inmates better and more constructive, and build their self-confidence and resilience and prepare them for a life beyond the gate that is better than when they got in there, then I think that's our mission, if you like. I think sadly there are very few people who would come out of prison and say that was the making of me. I don't think it's not like a school. And in a way, I think that's a great shame. There are many people we work with that simply haven't had any of the opportunities in life that we take for granted. They're a product of the care system, the product of a broken home. and you wonder what on earth, what chance did they possibly have, you know? And wouldn't it be fantastic if you could come out saying prison was the making of me? It's given me the tools required to lead a more constructive life.